Alright, let's see what's happening.
The day is finally here. And the time has almost come for you to see the next evolution of Rainbow Six Siege. Welcome to the SiegeX Showcase.
Woo.
Awesome. My name is Patricia Somerset, and today I am here with a champion-tiered squad of developers, casters, and creators to show you what SiegeX is all about. You can think of me as a squad leader. Shouldn't be too much of a stretch. As the voice of Ash, I'm used to delivering commanding lines.
The voice of Ash. That's dub. Big character in game.
So how about this one?
Nah, let's see.
All right, operators. You've trained for this. You're ready for this. The mission starts now.
That's kind of sick.
48 of your favorite content creators have assembled here in Atlanta to usher in an explosive new era of Siege. Folks,
Can't lie, I don't know most of them,
is
but
the SiegeX Showcase. We'll be starting off showing those content creators. First up was Team Skittles. Team Meaty Marley will join next. And get loud for your favorite content creators.
We got a lot of familiar faces on that roster alone, what we even previously saw from Team Skittles, so I'm excited to see what we got through and through to see the rest of these teams.
There are a lot of Brazilian content creators that you might be familiar with. It's Team Raza up next.
Got Team Brazil mixed in with a little bit from all around the globe.
Team Pestily is going to join them next, walking out of the large X. I'm going to be honest, I know there's a lot of you here. You got to be louder than that. Come on.
You know, we just
That's better.
We just talked about Team Brazil. Now we got Team A and Z coming through.
There's a lot of players that will be coming out, 48 in total. Some familiar faces, some newer to our scene, but I mean, hey, it's a new era for our game. Team Spoit is up next.
Ooh,
No,
Spoit.
We've talked about
It's
Spoit a
cold.
lot, but there's some phenomenal controller players coming from that Xbox scene here.
That controller
Spoit is
player,
one of
by
the best
way,
players.
There's a bunch of them on Stable Ronaldo, the next team walking
Stable
out.
Ronaldo?
You know,
I didn't even know he
Kiki
played
warming up.
Siege.
He's looking strong, but they also have Frankie there, Diamond 1.
Some familiar faces that you might recognize of this group walking out. The next is Team Lacey.
Very big names coming alive right there.
Oh,
One
man.
of our own right
Agent.
there with Uzi. That's my boy.
What? That's
Uzi
crazy.
should be a familiar face for those of you that follow along online. And Team Pengu, a team of
Pengu.
names that you've seen and heard before, but
These teams are just gonna dominate. Is that your age?
I think that's the controller players you were talking about.
Yeah,
by the way.
I think you're right. I don't see Pengu just yet.
I don't see Pengu. I used to work.
Am I
with him.
bugging?
We used to play against him. My name's Intero. I'm joined by Laxing. We've been long-standing members of this community, and we are happy to welcome you in to what might be the most exciting thing we've ever done in Siege. On the left side of your screen, this side, because we're mirrored, you're going to see what we're getting up to today. We're going to be starting off with a new game mode. You heard it here. Not just Siege, but something brand new. After that, we're going to talk about updates to the core of Siege, the game that we know and love and have spent much of the last 10 years playing. And then how about we finish off by showing those changes in action in SiegeX in a 5v5 show match.
Honestly,
Ooh.
Parker, I am so excited to say the least. I don't know which one I'm more excited for. There's so much that we are going to be showing and exploring. And again, I am just absolutely thrilled to be here with you.
We've got to run a tight ship, so both of us are talkers, so we're going to have to be a little bit brief. But before we get into the action, I'm going to need your help.
Not having Jinxie is
Do me a
crazy.
favor. Connect your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts because later on in the day, we'll be announcing a very special drop for everybody that's watching through either this stream or one of our partnered streams. But before we unveil what it is, make sure your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts are linked together. I, as well, am very excited.
I think that's the only way to put it, and put the emphasis on the X.
Yeah. It's going to be a quick day today. It's going to fly by like no tomorrow. And there's a lot to unveil. Of course, a new game mode is something that will surprise people. I think that the updates to the game are going to be pretty spectacular as well. But enough from us. How about we send it to two of the greatest minds at Ubisoft who have helped make SiegeX possible, Alex and Joshua.
First of all, let's hear for Ash. I mean Patricia, but it's amazing to have the voice of Ash here today with us. Welcome to the showcase. My name is Alex Karpazis, creative director of Siege, and today is the day we finally unveil SiegeX.
And I'm Joshua Mills, game director. After 3 years of work, the wait is over. And we're taking the core Siege experience to the next level.
We have a ton of details to share with you about how Siege is evolving with exciting updates like modernized maps, an audio overhaul, advanced rappel, and much, much more. In a few minutes, you will see live gameplay of those changes. But before that, we have a very first SiegeX trailer to share with you. This is the new era of Siege.
Oh, let's see it. Trailer. Okay. All the characters, Sophia, Vigil, Ash. New game mode. 6v6. What, like a Call of Duty? Dynamic objectives is good. I like that. Okay, that's good.
That's a lot to take in. That's why, over the next few hours, we'll cover all of it. We have 48 content creators around us getting set up right now with 4 live matches. And if you're quick with the math, then you've noticed that something quite doesn't add up. That's because they will be playing our brand new 6 vs 6 game mode, the first permanent new game mode since the launch of Siege. We've taken the strategy, teamwork, high-stakes gameplay that make Rainbow Six Siege so special and built a completely new game mode that's designed to push the limits of what Siege can be. Get ready for strategic plays, unexpected twists, and all-out action. This is Dual Front.
Dual Front is the culmination of years of hard work by our incredibly dedicated and talented team. They explored many different avenues and experimented with
I don't know about
the
this.
very core of Siege. In the end, the process came down to asking ourselves a very simple question.
I don't know about this one.
What if? What if we could expand the size of squads and have attackers and defenders work together? What if we had one persistent round to settle the outcome of a match with less downtime? What if we could expand the narrative and universe in-game seasonally? What if? One of the answers to these questions was to design a brand new, ever-evolving map where the action takes place. Welcome to District.
New map. This looks I just don't get it. Honestly, it doesn't look that good
District is a
at
new
all.
map created exclusively for Dual Front and built to change with ongoing updates. This map is uniquely designed to support the exciting gameplay of Dual Front and create new possibilities we've never seen before in Siege. Let's break it down. 2 symmetrical fronts, each featuring 3 sectors, set up the main framework of the map. Teams must capture one front while simultaneously defending the other as they work their way deeper and deeper into enemy territory. The ultimate goal? Reach the final sector and destroy the prototype in the enemy's HQ. The map's layout balances open areas and strategic choke points, demanding coordination and adaptability. Oh, and when I say open areas, this also includes outside. Players will now be able to move between indoor and outdoor spaces, extending their defenses beyond the walls of the building and setting up for some devastating ambushes. So if you don't drone, it's time to start. If the enemy does catch you off guard and eliminates you, you will be able to return to the fight as your currently selected operator or select a different operator for a tactical adjustment. Success hinges on balancing offense, defense, and team composition.
They're literally just turning the
seizing
game into
every
Call of Duty.
opportunity to
Oh
lead your
no.
team to victory. Which brings us to the neutral sector, a central area where a time-limited assignment will offer you the chance to shift the momentum of battle. Here's a preview of our first seasonal assignment.
Intel has zeroed in on an available assignment in the neutral sector. The enemy has started the extraction. Move to intercept.
L aim.
Op 4 is progressing with the assignment. Move to resecure. Well done. Proceed to extraction. Excellent work. You've completed the assignment.
The neutral sector is a high-stakes conflict zone where bold plays lead to game-changing rewards. Players can tackle the time-limited assignment
Oh,
that will
no.
grant valuable bonuses. It's important to keep in mind that taking this risk means leaving key positions open, as every operator participating in the assignment is one less operator in your attack or defense frontline. The race to secure these objectives is intense, and success in the neutral sector can tip the scales of victory, making it a battleground where split-second decisions and daring strategies can define the match. With each new season, players can expect a new assignment in Dual Front. This means new narrative, gameplay, and neutral sector map updates.
Dual Front was built from the ground up to use the strengths of Siege. while adding new twists. If you're new to Siege, this is a perfect game mode to play. Everyone is on a level playing field with a single new map to learn. There's also a limited operator pool, allowing players to focus on a smaller roster. We will be changing the operators in this pool twice a season, so that a new exciting meta is just around the corner. Finally, we all know that every life is a lesson. Respawn is an important part of this mode, allowing players to experiment and learn through play. You can join the closed beta later today on PC and current-gen consoles.
Okay, that's a W, but I don't know, the rest of it looks shit.
Your feedback will help us release the best experience for SiegeX.
Now that you know what Dual Front is, it's time to see it in action. Let's kick it over. Let's kick it over to our legendary casters and see your favorite creators exploring and discovering all Dual Front has to offer right now.
Thank you so very much. The new permanent game mode that we were sworn to secrecy on, we couldn't talk about it. They said, you're not allowed to. And we said, okay, you know what? I want to hear how loud you can get. Now, remember when I said that there would be a surprise later on? Joshua just told you straight up, you can play Dual Front today. All you need to do is connect your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts, and then watch about 30 minutes either on this stream or on one of the partnered streams, and you will get a Twitch drop of a beta code to try Dual Front. Servers go live when we wrap up here, so in just a couple hours. And it'll be available on PC and current-gen consoles. Kind of sucks for the people in the audience that you don't get to play, huh? Yeah, well, that's okay.
No,
Don't boo me, you're excited. Hey, hey, hey. But how excited are you for Dual Front? How excited are you for that, what looked like a weapon inspection? They got very, very loud.
I mean, respectfully so. You know, we finally now can inspect it. But I mean, for Dual Front specifically, I did get to try it. And
But every other game has had that for like how long? So it's not even special. I don't get it.
I truly had so much fun within that time frame that I was able to play. You didn't get to play.
I didn't get to play it.
Still don't know what it's like.
I have no idea.
Truthfully, it's a wonderful game mode.
Would you say you were excited?
I was more than excited.
Wonderful. We've got 48 content creators here to take us through Dual Front, and in just a moment, we'll be getting into the game. And honestly, because I haven't played it, am just as eager to see it in action as all of you are. We'll be going through how the actual objectives progress. How does that neutral sector actually work? What are the rewards that they get? And how does the matchup ebb and flow? And the one thing that I am most particularly looking forward to is you and I first started playing Siege in year one. We have got to see this game grow from the very beginning. And if you go back and you look at Siege as a regular game, the way that it was played back in 2016 is very different from the way it's played now. I have no doubt that Dual Front is going to function the same way. Now, in just a couple seconds, we'll intro our very first set of teams, and it will be fascinating to see how they tackle our newest permanent game mode in SiegeX. What are your expectations?
This shit looks so bad.
To be honest, there's no expectations that can be met truthfully because this is a new game mode. This is an undeveloped area where people are going to be figuring out. We're going to be understanding what it's going to look like, what we can see.
Team Lacey and Team Stable Ronaldo will
But
be
we'll
the
see.
first set
We'll
of
see how it
teams.
plays.
We are in the
I
operator
guess.
selection phase, seconds out from the first look at Dual Front. Operators are locked in. Are you ready for the next era of Siege? Folks, let's get underway with our first matchup.
Cool little animation to start the round, I guess.
So this is already super unique. You know, when you start, you have the 6 operators that you are choosing from. I believe if I'm not wrong, you will always be at the front, so you can always feel like you are the leader in this scenario, leading your team. But again, what's so unique about this is when you think about Siege as a whole, it's always been 5v5.
Siege with respawns just isn't Siege though.
A 6th player onto that squad, which allows so many different ways to approach Siege and how you want to play it. And again, another big thing is you can mesh attackers with defenders.
Now, While you had
They should have
scans
brought Tyler
of
1 instead of
experience,
E-Robman.
and you are a former pro player and a former world champion, it's not your expertise that we're going to lean on here, Gabe. We have brought up both Alex and Josh from the keynote to help us understand the way that this works. Gentlemen, first things first, what a day. What a day. I mean, I think you were prepared for the audience to get loud, but would you say you were a little caught off guard with the enthusiasm that we're seeing?
I mean, we've been waiting for this moment for 3 years now, and we're still not prepared for it. This is really exciting. The teams poured their heart and soul into this, and now we get to see it live in action.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's always a reaction, right? You hear the people, you get to experience that full hand, and it feels so awesome to finally be talking about all this.
I'm going upstairs,
Now, the way that you conceptualize this game mode being played might differ from what we see today. But is it fair to say, Alex, that you're expecting players to literally problem solve as it goes along, and that there isn't really a defined correct way to play based on when you built the game?
I mean, we've been playtesting this for over a year now, and we're still learning new things, new combinations of operators. This is the first time we're taking attackers and defenders together on the same team, but we're keeping that attack and defend philosophy alive, where you have one lane, one front to push, and one front to defend. So yeah, it's all new.
Well, and as I was saying, you know, the key element of adding a sixth player to that squad, I mean, Siege for the past 10 years has been 5. I mean, what was the decision to bring that extra element of surprise and putting a sixth member onto that roster?
Well, one of the big goals we had with Dual Front is to actually make Siege more approachable. So, and one of the ways of doing that is to kind of lower that social pressure of having to, if you die in a 5v5, 4v5, that's a big detriment to your team. So, in 6v6, you actually get to carry that weight a little bit more evenly. Additionally, obviously, the respawn's going to help with that and help people feel more confident and learn over time. But that's definitely a driving force there.
I just want to touch on something here, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but we've got our first objective at play. Would one of you like to take us through what exactly is happening in the game right now?
Yeah, so the attacking team has actually planted the diffuser, and now we have actual segments to the diffuser timer. So if the defending team comes in and deactivates it, it might save a bit of the progress that they achieved there. And this is one of 3 objectives that they have to secure now.
That would explain why we have the 3 segments on the diffuser.
That's right.
So if you stop it, it'll go back to the last tick, if we want to call it that.
That's right.
And then you basically paused it. So it functions very similarly to regular Siege in the sense that you have to control the objective, you have to get that diffuser planted.
And I love specifically that you guys talked about, you know, regardless of this being a brand new game mode, you guys are still keeping that core value of what Siege has always been in terms of that tactical prowess and what you can do within Siege. And I think being able to bring attackers with defenders can really set up that strategical stance even more in depth than what we've currently seen throughout Siege.
I mean, that's the magic of it. As when you're playing this, you have to go on the attack. You get that attack, and then you got to go into the defense within the same lane. So it varies up what you're able to do there, like bringing a Nomad on attack. Obviously, we've done that 1,000 times, but putting her into the defense and making for the post plant, it's all about that.
It's almost like they're fighting on dual fronts.
And now we see that the other team has planted the diffuser as well. So both are active at the same time. Teams have to recoup, regroup, and understand how they can recapture the site now that the plant's gone down.
The red team succeeded, it looks like, in their very first capture. So now what happens? Oh. Is Uzi going to get it?
Yeah.
They've already lost 1 tick, as you talked about.
Yep.
And it'll roll back. So like that progress they earned and they fought for, they get to keep, but they didn't get all the way for the next sector of the actual objective, so that's lost.
And what I'm seeing now with the front A team, they have that first one secured. Now that timer is going. So essentially, does that now force them to now play the defense, wait for that next sector to open up, and then make that transition with that rotate?
Yeah, that beat there is actually leading into essentially a prep phase for that new sector. So our attackers in that lane are going into prep, using their drones, looking forward, or they could rotate in through the neutral sector over to defense and help shore up your own defense.
Now, I do want to ask you guys, because you've obviously had some time playing through it, what is your ideal lineup that you've ran the most, that you've experimented with the absolute most, whether that's on the defensive side or the attacking side?
They're bouncing. They're just very excited to play the game.
It's amazing running Nomad on defense.
I like it.
You never experienced it before, and just doing that is amazing.
I'm about to say, you'll never hear anything coming from me in terms of Nomad with how much I love Nomad. I think Parker knows that as much as well. I played flank watch aggressively, so the fact that you can use those air jabs on defense to get those sound cues, to get that quick reaction, to net one of those eliminations, I mean, Nomad's massive on defense.
I mean, Gabe, when you played professionally, if there was a spot on a map to be as far away from the action as possible, you were there.
Absolutely. So you would have 110% find me at that neutral sector, where I am not going to be in the thick of it, but I am going to be trying to lurk my way through and see what is open and what isn't.
Now, one thing that you mentioned while talking about the game was that you're going to be swapping up the operators twice a season. Now, what's the thought process behind which operators you bring in, which operators you bring out, and will it be a full-scale swap? Are we talking every operator is gone, or are you just going to bring in a couple and remove maybe some particularly strong or weak ops?
Yeah, so one of the big things is we want to make sure that the Pathfinders that are earned through our newcomer challenges are going to be available at all times. Again, like you always want to be able to have some of your ops to be able to play, but outside that, we're going to be almost doing kind of like a crafted meta or ideas around that. Maybe we put a lot of hard breach up, maybe we put a lot of trap, or maybe remove both and see what happens now. Like, what can you do if you don't have electricity available to you? What can you do if you don't have, like, you know, a lot of area denial and so on and so forth?
So I don't think this was mentioned by you guys, but what I am noticing is I'm looking at the character, the utility, it's regenerating.
Yeah, this is a way that we can actually balance the operators over a long period of time. We're talking rounds are lasting about 15, 20 minutes. So you can actually stack quite a bit of utility if you don't have this new system, and the team worked really hard on that.
Okay, we'll follow up with that. So are you saying that Capcan can essentially lay down 6, 7 traps at a time?
I'm gonna take that one. So one of the things about regenerative gadgets is that you can deploy based on the max that's been determined for dual front. So some of those values may differ from the core Siege experience, but additionally, whatever your last place gadget was, if you place a new one, it'll destroy that one and then move forward, just to make sure things are in line.
Perfect.
You're telling me I can't put down 20 Capcan traps and just sabotage the whole
Yeah,
map?
I mean, if we rewind time a couple years ago, you could have, and let me be honest, like, you know, it became an HR problem. So
I was actually, I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking, I was like, what if someone just brings Mira and just lays down a lot of her windows and then immediately transitions off of that to a different operator and then uses them?
I'm thinking the Maestro. You just swap evil eye cams over and over and over again. You got unlimited laser beams.
We already thought of that. So if you're repicking your operator, the operator you were previously, all their gadgets disappear. And then you're jumping back in with a new operator to do a new strategy.
additionally, you can actually see as operators are being swapped out and respawning, they go back to being unknown because we don't know who's coming up in that lineup again. So that's another thing you'll have to adapt to as you're on the field.
I'm not a developer. I don't balance this game. I can only imagine how tricky it has been to find a way to make everything work. But before we get there, one of the beautiful things about having all these content creators in person is that we get to hear from them live in action. Patricia has an interview ready for us down on the stage.
Thank you, guys. I am here with Skittles. How you doing?
Doing great.
Skittles, I would love to get your first impressions of SiegeX. How you feeling about it right now?
I'm absorbing everything. This is a completely new game. We got a big map, more operators. Like it's insane. I'm just trying to take everything in right now, basically.
I can imagine. Are there any particular things that you're focusing on or interested
He's
in
chatting
seeing in terms
shit.
of the new updates?
He hates it. I can see he
I'm
doesn't
just
like
really
it.
excited about the gun inspection. After 10 years, we finally got that, and oh my god, all the skins we have now, it's so worth it. It's so cool.
Very cool. Well, I won't take too much of your time. Get you back to playing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's trash.
Skittles does a lot of YouTube work, and I know that the weapon inspect element will be excellent for thumbnails.
They're not liking
so
it.
that will make
They're
it
actually
easier
not
for
liking
content
it. This is
creators
crazy.
to advertise their stuff. Let's dive into the next matchup that's happening at the same time, and it's a little bit of the old versus the present, one could say. A former two-time world champion of Pengu versus a current major champion of Spoit, as it's Team Pengu versus Team Spoit. And there's a competitive mindset between these two teams that is, maybe I would say, unlike a lot of the other matchups we'll have today.
I mean, how competitive can it be? I mean, Spoit's beating up on a retired old man of Tengu. Like, give him a break. Let him breathe a little bit.
I'm fascinated the way that this mode is going to be approached, right? Because Siege casts such a wide net. There are people who are going to play it on PC. There are people who are going to play it on console. There are people who are going to play it in casual. People who only play ranked. And then
So every time you die, you have to run like 10 minutes to get back to the fight.
People are just sitting at home, playing on their couch, listening to music, playing casually with some friends. And when you look at a mode like Dual Front, do you think it's the type of game mode that can catch all of those players and provide a compelling experience for each one?
Yeah, when we were talking about Dual Front, first of all, Siege is challenging. That's in our DNA. We'll never change that.
That's
but
a dub, but
Dual Front makes it
other
more
than that,
accessible.
oh, no.
You can respawn. You can repick your operators. You have more players on the table, so you can try out new things. So all of this adds up to a game mode that, honestly, everybody's at the same level, on the ground floor, and they're able to jump in and have immediate impact.
So I was going to follow up with, I mean, we obviously talk about the casual base and me coming from that competitive background. I absolutely do love the approach here, especially as we do know, Siege is a very complex game, but that's what makes it so unique, so fun when you can actually learn it. But what I really like about District specifically is it's symmetrical. It does really allow you to learn from one end to the other of just the basic functionalities of how Siege is played.
Yeah.
So you're not getting confused, and for a new player that you can come in and be like, okay, this is what Siege is like. So then you bring that into the other maps. And then I did also see not every single operator is able to be played, and I think that also is huge because, as we know, Siege has a lot of operators and continuing to grow as
This
the
is
game
bad, man.
continues
This
to
is
go
bad.
further on. So I do genuinely think this is a great approach for not only a competitive standpoint, but most importantly also for the casual standpoint.
They're gonna completely kill their game. Like it will have a small buzz after that is finished.
At this current point in time, that has caught your eye that you maybe weren't expecting at the tests you've done over the last year or so.
I mean, I saw someone do a breach I literally have never seen someone do, like in all our playtests, breaching in onto the stairs in the second sector. Like, that side of the site, like, I don't usually see people, like, pushing through there. They usually push from top floor or walk up the stairs, but never breach the wall and jump right into the stairs. So that's kind of the magic of the map, right? So.
We've got another interview ready from TikTok to Twitch, and now here in Atlanta, we've got Titanium Rolo down on the stage with Patricia.
Thanks, guys.
Let's see.
You've got it solid. I am here now with Titanium Rolo.
Who's this?
Today, Rolo?
I am doing amazing. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful, especially now that I'm with you here.
I don't know.
Already like fast
Maybe
friends.
she's big as fuck. I
wanted
just
to
don't know
ask
who
you,
she is.
What do you think about the neutral zone in the middle of the map?
So I think the neutral zone is actually really crucial, and I think that from the times that we've played it, we've not focused on it enough. There's so much focus on either attacking a base or defending a base, but actually so many people go to the neutral zone that if you manage to get control of it, then you can kind of completely control the flow of the map, and I think it's going to be way more crucial than we've given credit for it. And I'm also hoping, since I like Easter eggs, I'll find a couple of Easter eggs around there too.
I wish so many Easter eggs for you. Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to playing. My pleasure.
I can, like, you can tell that the content creators hate the
Easter eggs
game.
that are hidden in all of the maps, by the way. Are we going to see any in Dual Front? Do you even want to give that away?
Definitely first jump into the beta, check it out yourself, find them, because we have hidden some stuff around the map.
Right. And for a reminder for those of you, we're going to say this a lot. I apologize if I sound like a broken record. But the thing is that the more I remind you, that maybe you might actually be able to get into the game yourself. We are doing beta code access for Dual Front. That is on right now. Once we are done with the showcase, you will be able to play Dual Front, providing you link your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts, and then watch either this stream or one of our partners.
Of the hostage being involved. Yeah, and not only just that, but the hostage is Dokkaebi. because we lost her at the end of the Assault on Hereford event. So this is where that narrative starts coming in when we talk about seasonal update.
I want to say, so when you grab the hostage, if I'm not mistaken, you have to bring it to the other side, the enemy side. So what Anne is already doing this wrong. She brought it to her, I believe, thinking that they are going to get that extraction, but they actually need to bring it to the opposite side and make it far more challenging than just as simple as, let's just bring it back to ours.
Yeah, exactly. It used to, like, you can see as soon as the hostage got picked up there, the icon shows up to show you where the extraction point is for you. And the helicopters are coming in the next 30 seconds. And that, oh man, like, again, we're talking about audio and all everything. Hearing helicopters come in during a siege match, oh, it gets your heart pumping.
Well, I want to say,
Don't board it, though.
I want to say, me and you actually went through this moment together when we were testing this out the other day. And it is, when you were talking about the heart thumping, and especially, like, let's acknowledge you can play outside now. Like, that is a huge thing that needs to be acknowledged. You don't have a timer letting you know you're going to be shown. I mean, again, these operators, that is just evolving a meta right there. All the shields you're seeing.
Castling off a door outside? What am I watching?
Exactly. But, no, like I was saying, back to that, it is very intense when you have to run to the enemy side with this, trying to get that extraction up while they're up and coming, spawning, holding those positions from outside, waiting.
So basically, capture the flag, but capture the hostage.
Good job at leading that. You were like, all right, Black, I need you to get in front of me. I need you to clear this. I need you to clear that. And we did end up doing it successfully.
Yeah, honestly, like, regardless if we talk about the match
Lord.
being approachable, we get real competitive.
Oh, absolutely.
You mentioned that Dokkaebi is the one to grab here because of the actual lore of the game. Now, there are a lot of people here at this event dressed up in cosplay, and lore in Rainbow Six Siege, yeah, give them some applause. They work hard. The lore in Rainbow Six Siege has steadily increased to the point now where, you know, when I first started playing, and you first started playing, there's basically none. Will lore play a part in Dual Front, and will the events of future seasons find their way into this game mode?
So that's actually what we're trying to do with Dual Front. Bring some of the story into the game proper so that you get to experience the story itself. And so every single season, we'll be weaving in the lore of Siege into the updates that you see in Dual Front.
Now, when a team does successfully extract the hostage, what
No, they're not. They're just chatting.
Oh, they're at the wrong.
Yeah, they both just did the exact same thing.
Do they throw Dokkaebi into the net?
Well, they
Is
gotta
that
take
what
it
they're
to the right
supposed to do?
extraction
I'm
point.
not.
But whenever they do end up getting it to the right, getting the hostage to the right extraction point, and then having her airlifted out, you actually gain 2 sectors of the current objective or the next objective that you're going on. So if you have 1 sector left on, say, sector 2, it'll click forward on 2.
Okay, and so that won't, so like for example, on Bravo's side, they already have 2 of those sectors, or not sectors captured, but they have, you know, halfway through.
Actually, yeah, on either side of the match right now, whoever secures the assignment will win.
Oh.
But like, they just have to get them to the right extraction zone, and there's only 20 seconds left to get it done.
And what happens if you don't complete this task? Then it just goes.
They figured it
Sorry,
out.
I'm too excited now.
And so this is actually an air tap, and they win. So that's the thing. You can either play for the neutral sector, or you can keep on pushing in one of the fronts and end the game as well.
Like all things Siege, you have multiple ways to pull off.
That's right.
A win. We've got more. We got more games going, by the way. So this one is finished, but next one up, we're going worldwide. Raza versus Pestily. Now, Team Raza have some pretty formidable players on it. And
Oh Lord, these are just trying to kill their game.
Dual Front. We saw a more objective focus in that Pengu versus Spoit matchup than in the first. And again, it's going to come down to the way that teams tackle these objectives. Do you go for kills? Do you fight for each of the sections of the map? Or do you battle, as we just saw, in that neutral zone nonstop? And for the Spoit and Pengu matchup, the neutral zone was the way to go. They ended up winning because of it.
But again, that's the beauty of this being a new game mode, is there isn't a right or wrong way to play this. You can play it what you see fit, what you want to do. You make those tactical adjustments of whether you're rotating players or seizing a moment, seizing an opportunity, and then even collapsing and falling back if necessary. So again, we are going through and through to be seeing any way possible and played because there is no developed meta just yet that maybe you guys are hiding that you're going to keep for yourselves and maybe run into you guys in one of these matches and quickly realize, okay, this is what we need to do.
Whatever meta we've developed, it's going out the window as soon as players get into the beta because players just learn